Hey everyone, welcome back. I want to make another page right now. So I think what we're going to focus on at the moment is just the cart page. So very, very important part of this whole app. We want to ensure that when people come to the cart page, they're going to be able to easily jump right out and just, check out and get through the process. So I've just duplicated this frame and I have like this auto layout frame on the inside that's just going to allow me to delete comment and everything's going to be responsive. So we can do that. And I'm going to name this one my cart. And before we go any further, I'm going to switch this to the active instance, turn that one off. So now we know which one we're on. And now the next thing we are going to need is we are going to have to create some interesting stuff here. So I'm going to delete that and I'm going to delete this. Now what I'm going to do is, you may notice that I'm not really caring too much about the container names. In the final resources, I'm going to rename everything just to keep it neat for everyone. But when I'm going through my wireframes, I really do not care that much about renaming layers just yet. I try my best to, but if I'm working really quickly like I am now, I really don't care. So definitely keep that in mind. So I have these layers. I'm going to just delete one of them. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this and use some horizontal cards. I'm going to delete this. So I have this massive horizontal card that we can also delete that frame on the outside. So I have this horizontal card here. I'm going to go into this right side. Okay, everything looks good. Make sure all that content's there. I don't think we're going to need the icon on this card, especially when it's in your cart. We just want them to get in and out. So I'm just thinking about what's all the information they're going to definitely need in order to, check out appropriately. So I have the product and there we go. Oops, that one went right outside the frame. So maybe there's 3 products. So that's fine. So there we go. So far we have the products in our cart. The next thing to do is to think about the content within. So I'm just going to take this container and just drag a copy over. I'm holding Option down and I'm going to switch the direction. So setting that to fill the container, all the content within, I'm going to select them all to fill the container. This one, I'm going to have it right aligned. So now I have this neat little thing here where we have both the, I'm going to have a title here saying the cart total and, the other information over here. I'm just going to change that to hug the contents. There we go. Because the text was spanning too high. So, oops, cart total. So we can actually bump this down in terms of the size here. I'm going to just use 16 or maybe 20. Yeah, 20 is fine. And I'm going to come over here and, say this is going to be the cart total of $75. Before I go any further, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a copy because I think I'm going to need this again. And I'm going to bump this size up. So this is going to be maybe a heading around there. And it's going to be really dark. This is going to be set to hug the contents, just like that. And there we go. So we've hugged the contents. The next part is when I am thinking about checking out, definitely want to know okay, is this delivering to my house? Delivered to Leslie. And the address. So you can do a couple things here. I have plugins that really help with this. So you can go into your plugins and you can go to, I have one called Content Reel. So definitely grab this plugin if you don't have it, or just use your own address just for the time being. And what this lets you do is it allows you, just the free content allows you to, plug and play. So I'm going to go to a US full address and it's just going to give me a basic address like that. And it fills it right in for me. So I have that address. we can actually switch this to a line at the top. These can actually come down in size. They're a little bit big for what we need. They're taking up too much horizontal space. This one can come down in size as well. And this is something that could probably be bolded. Perfect. Okay, so now we have that. And now I'm going to go into my assets layer, and I think we need a big button here. So I'm going to drop that in. I'm going to move it down to the bottom here. I'm going to set that to fill container. And for my button, I'm going to go ahead and say that I want this to say checkout. So I'm editing it right in the properties over here instead of having to like deep click into the layers. And I think like maybe there's like a cart button. I don't know, something like that. That says like, hey, checkout right away. I'm going to use just like a horizontal rule because I think maybe there's an option here. I don't know. I'm going to put this in and I'm not sure how I feel about it just yet, but I think there's like a way that we can, you know, bring stuff like this in to like the cart to say something like, hey, others bought similar things. So, you know, you should buy them too. And I don't think we need content for this. We can definitely shrink the height though. And there we go. I think what this is going to suffice for our cart, because when people first come to this screen, what they're going to see is something like this based off of the height of the phone. And so they'll be able to click the checkout really quickly. And still, if they're, you know, not sure about what they want to buy, I mean, they can add more things to the cart. But they definitely see everything that they need right away to start the checkout process. So that's how you create a cart screen as a wireframe.